Joined now by Colts offensive coordinator Nick Sirianni. Nick, even through the masks on and everything and the activity we've seen from guys on the field, it's a pretty palpable energy around the building. What's that dynamic like for you? How do you describe that, finally being able to get back into the complex and get to work with your guys?
Yeah, it's as much as I love being home with my family, it's great to be out here coaching again, and it's great to see the players again. And I know it's great for them too. It's really exciting, like you're saying, for all of us just to be back in the building together, working for that, to become better each day.
What have your first impressions been of Philip and how he looks, not only in regards to his health and fitness at this point, but the work he's been able to put in with the guys who he has so far to be able to work with and get those reps in?
He's still really accurate. He's still really great feet in the pocket. It's just good seeing him again and in person, throwing the football. It's always when he's hot and he's throwing the ball, he's so accurate, and it's just always so nice to see him and the ball being right on that where it's supposed to be. He could hit this doorknob right here from 50 yards back, right where you wanted him to hit it. And lock the door doing it somehow. So that's awesome to see, and it's just good being back around him, and excited to have him here.
Well, along with your quarterbacks being able to get in a little bit early, your rookies, some of the earliest players to be able to get into the complex, what is your assessment so far of where your rookies are in regards to where you want them to be? It's obviously a very atypical year. They would probably be in a different position had you had the spring. But thus far, given all the circumstances, what's your assessment of how they look right now at the end of July?
They look like they're in great shape, great physical shape. Obviously, the next step is being great football shape. And that's what this month plus is for. And as far as mentally goes, that I feel like they're all our coaching staff did a great job of getting their guys ready as far as mental and knowing what to do. So I see Michael Pittman knowing exactly where to be on the field. I see Jonathan Taylor knowing the right footwork to take. Obviously, that's no surprise to me. Mike Groh and Tom Rathman are great coaches, and same with Chris Strasser, with Pintner and everybody. Now the next step is, so obviously that's very encouraging because you're not starting at stage one. It's not stage one. We've had this whole off season to mentally do it. Now it's knowing how to do it, right? So you know what to do and know how to do it. There's there are fundamentals and technique. We missed out on some of that time, so we need to make up on that. And then, just route discipline, route detail. Hey, Phillips expecting you to be here. All right. Yes, I know you have this in route, but you're supposed to be here on the field. It's very specific. And so that's what we're working on now that we have them in person.
You've had that opportunity to work with some of your rookie wide receivers. They come in surrounded by a great room of veteran receivers returning as well. How do you rate right now your wide receiver depth at the beginning of camp?
A lot of people in this league would love to have what we have. You have guys that have made a ton of – T.Y.'s made a ton of plays. Zach Pascal made a ton of plays last year. He was awesome last year. Paris made his plays last year in the wide out room. And then you look at the depth of it. Reese Fountain was having a phenomenal training camp, and there's not a lot of guys that are number 4, that are number 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 on your wide receiver depth chart that look like him. He's a stud. Mike, we got Michael Pittman in the mix, who had just a phenomenal college career at a very obviously a great college with a ton of tradition at USC. And so we know that he is very capable of being everything we think he can be. And his talent is there, and now he's just got to go do it. Marcus Johnson made so many plays for us last year. Ashton Doolin. You could just keep going on and on. There's a lot of people out there in this business that would love to have the wide receiver depth that we have. And that's an exciting thing, because the depth breeds competition, and competition breeds development. And these guys are going to keep developing. And they have to, because the guy right behind them in line is ready to go and take their spot if they don't.
Coach Reich always talks about juice. I think the wide receiver room is one of those that has the most juice probably in the building, right?
No doubt. No doubt. It's an exciting group. It's a great group to be around. They not only bring talent on the field, but they also bring excitement to the meeting room and the practice field, and then on game day as well.
You mentioned both T.Y. Hilton and Paris Campbell, of course, those injury-shortened seasons that they went through in 2019. How much added motivation do you see them coming in with, looking for some redemption somewhat this season?
Yeah, definitely. I know I've had conversations with T.Y. where he said that, and man, I'm thinking about what he said, how he said it. I don't know exactly how he said it, but he's hungry. And I got goosebumps even thinking about what he said. I got to go look at what he said. But what he said just made me think, man, this guy is pissed that he missed last year through no fault of his own. Just, obviously injuries happen in the NFL. And he's hungry to show everybody, and everyone's going to pay because he missed some time last year. And so I'm so excited about that. Paris has, obviously Paris went through about as many ups and downs as you could go as a rookie. And he's going to, what I love about Paris Campbell is that he's going to respond. He is that's just the type of guy he is. And that's a credit to Frank and to Chris, the type of players that they want to bring in, right? He's going to respond to adversity no matter what. Like, I don't care. Like, and he went through it, and I know he feels the same way of having talked to him. So, man, it's going to be exciting when Paris scores a touchdown this year early in the year, and when T.Y. scores one. Hopefully they both happen week 1. And it's just going to be exciting, because not only will that moment be exciting that they've come back from their adversity, but there's going to be a lot more moments to come after that too. So I'm excited for them. And the reason they're going to recover is because of the type of players and people they are.
Whenever you come back to that T.Y. quote, you can bring it back to us and share it with us a little bit later. Okay. We'll wait for that.
All right,
well,
cool.
Your starting offensive line, certainly one of the best in the NFL, undoubtedly. Behind that, when you examine the depth you have at that position in a limited time to do so, how do you approach evaluating the talent that you have behind those starting 5 at offensive line?
Yeah. We evaluate them through the grind with the pads on, so I'm glad we didn't miss any of that time with the pads on, because we, and that's what they're about to get coming up here. So obviously very important to build the depth there. We were very fortunate last year that our starting 5 was able to stay intact all year. Very, very fortunate. Not every team's that fortunate. Not every team I've ever been on has been that fortunate. And so obviously at every position, it's critical that we build that depth. But we know the offensive line on this team or on this offense is the heart and soul of this offense. We know that. We go as they go. We are successful as they're successful. So if one of them does have to miss time, it's so important that the next guy in steps in and he steps in and we don't miss a beat, because that's our heart and soul right there. The interior, our line of scrimmage.
What are some things that you've seen already from Philip? I mean, you know him as well as anybody does, but since you've been in the building with him, maybe what you saw even in those Zoom meetings in the offseason that really solidify that this was the right move for your offense this offseason?
Just the way he takes charge of meetings and, and the questions that he asks. And, man, it's like, again, like talking about plays, like, hey, what do we like versus this look? It's like you have another coach. Like, we do it to get another coach to take, to help us out with game plan. You can't have enough good minds there. So I don't know if it's just one thing that you say, man, it's just the cumulative of everything, right? It's just the presence, the leadership, it's everything. It really goes to say, this was the right move.
Coach Reich talked about envisioning how heavily Trey Burton will be utilized in the system. How much of an asset can he be for Phillip, and then playing alongside a guy like Jack Doyle, and how much those two can complement one another?
I think you saw how good Jack Doyle was when he had, the Eric Ebron right next to him, right? So Jack's just only going to succeed when it's almost like – I almost think of Jack like a good pass rusher. When he has another good pass rusher on the other side, he's just going to keep getting better because they can't focus all their attention on him. I think if you look at Frank and myself's past with tight ends and Phillips' past with his tight ends, that there's just been so many balls. They've caught so many balls, so many touchdowns. And Trey's just so I think of Antonio Gates and Ladarius Green in San Diego. I think about Antonio Gates and Hunter Henry. And then I think about Zach Ertz and Trey in Philadelphia. And then I think about Jack and Eric here these last couple of years. And now Jack and Trey. I mean, gosh, we've been doing something right there at tight end. We've been really lucky at tight end as far as Frank and myself go for all these years with having these great tight ends and this, because it's a nightmare matchup for the defense. And so it feels like it's just another, I don't know, we're getting spoiled. Like, it's like, okay, this is the way the tight end room's we're supposed to have two tight ends that can really create mismatches. So we have that, and we know the success that we've had with players like that, and the success that Frank's had with Trey and another great tight end in Zach Ertz. So I'm just really excited to get him there. It just makes us more multiple to defend, and just another playmaker on the field. So super excited for Trey to be here with our offense. He's really going to make us a better offense.
How much does that help in the transition, the fact that Trey has that experience with Frank, and of course Phillip has that experience with yourself and Frank as well, given how amplified somewhat practices are going to be in this period of time, this next month in particular, is going to be for your offense?
Yeah, I think about the new guys. Obviously, the rookies have no experience with us, but I think about the free agents that we brought in, with Trey and Phillip, and I think we really lucked out there as far as, and no one could predict what happened with what's going on right now with COVID and everything like that. But we ended up really lucking out. Like the new free agents that we brought in we have so much familiarity with them. That's a huge advantage. Just like not every team has two tight ends like that, and not just like every team doesn't have the depth that we have at wideout. We also have the advantage there that we know our free agents very, very closely. So that's a huge advantage for us. I really do believe that.
With not having the opportunities in the spring to get on field with your guys, now no preseason games, how much of a sense of urgency is there right now to amplify these opportunities that you finally have now, getting guys into the building, getting to work with them firsthand?
We're excited to get them in here and start working with them. I think it is different, a little different this year, obviously without the preseason games, but I don't think we are going to be the same way as coaches. I don't think we ever think, well, we got a preseason game to evaluate them. Let's not put everything in this practice. No, we're going all in, and no matter if it was we had a preseason game or we didn't, that's our time to evaluate. That's our time to get guys better and develop guys. So obviously we're super excited about that, and just look forward to working with these guys and seeing this team.
Nick, appreciate your taking the time. I know you got a lot on your plate this afternoon. We'll let you get back to it, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Larra.